Hey there, fellow Disney fans, it's Maria. I'm coming to you right outside of the Epcot gates today, where I am about to embark on a tour of the Topiaries here at the 2022 Flower and Garden Festival. So without further ado, I am going to go scan in and get to that tour. Let's go. We are starting this tour right inside the gates. At the foot of Spaceship Earth, you will see this year's brand new Gooky Topiary. He is standing out here proudly welcoming us to the Flower and Garden Festival. But the really cool detail about this topiary is that he is holding a Walt Disney World 50th anniversary cake. If you check out that candle on top, that is a nod to Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary. Speaking of Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary, there is yet another nod to the event happening right here on the gorgeous bank of flowers. You will see that over there is a 50 made completely out of flowers, in between the Minnie and Mickey flower formations that they've got going on over there as well. Of course, keep your eyes out for the 50th anniversary statues as you check out the topiaries in Epcot as well. I'm here in the Blossoms of Fragrance Gardens, where you will see lots of potted plants as well as these gorgeous butterfly topiaries. Now, the butterfly topiaries are here for a reason, as these specific flowers and plants that you see around the topiaries are the types of flowers and plants that would attract butterflies. That is why these gorgeous butterflies are here. As you can see, this one's got a center made of succulents, as well as floral designs all around the outside. If you want to get an up close and more personal look at the butterflies, there is actually a butterfly area that you can physically walk into, where butterflies are molting and hatching and flying all around. It is located right over between Figment and the land. A lovely cast member just informed me that if you walk up to these little signs in this Blossoms of Fragrance Garden, you can put your nose right here. It will explain the scent, which this one's lavender, and it smells like concentrated delicious lavender if you sniff right there. So make sure you actually go around and sniff each and every one of these little fragrance plaques as you walk around. I want to take a quick moment to talk about this Lion King topiary out here featuring Mufasa, Simba, Rafiki, and Sarabi. Because the topiaries are not exclusive to World Showcase. This topiary, for example, used to be in the Outpost Pavilion in years past. However, they've moved it out here this year before we get to World Showcase. And right now it's between Figment and the land. So, as you're walking into Epcot, before you get to World Showcase, don't expect to only find these topiaries out in World Showcase. Make sure you keep your eyes peeled as you're walking in so you don't miss any. We've got Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, Huey, Dewey, and Louie here, right on World Showcase Promenade before you head into World Showcase. But I want to use this mini topiary as a very cool example of something. Each and every topiary that we're going to see here today has an interior irrigation system. If you're wondering how Disney can possibly keep these topiaries alive for 4 months in the sweltering, and I mean sometimes sweltering Florida sun, it is because of this irrigation system. If you can look really closely here on Minnie, you might be able to tell that her chin is actually dripping. That means that internally right now, while she looks fantastic on the outside, she's actually being watered. So instead of having the horticulture teams come out here in full force multiple times during the day and kind of ruin the look of the topiaries, Disney has created this interior irrigation system so that you will never see a cast member out here watering or ruining that overall aesthetic during the day, which is a very cool feature. As we begin our tour around World Showcase, keep in mind that each of the topiaries that I'm going to point out along the way correspond with the pavilion that they're in. For example, Panchito, Jose, and Donald here correspond with the Mexico Pavilion. How? Well, they are the Three Caballeros, and you can see all three of them featured in the Three Caballeros attraction inside of the Mexico Pyramid. So don't miss your chance to check out each of these characters in a more in-depth way by actually stepping into the pavilions, because you'll be surprised at how many of them are represented here all year long. If you've had the pleasure of visiting Flower and Garden Festival in years past, you will know that the topiaries are usually located in the same spots. This year, Disney has changed it up a bit. We're looking at my adorable Norwegian troll friend here. He's located right outside of the Wandering Reindeer shop. Now, if you've been here before, you will know that Anna and Elsa normally stand in this location. So if you don't see your favorite topiary in its original spot, or where you usually expect to see it in years past, take a look around the pavilion and chances are they've just swapped spots for the year. I found them just off World Showcase Promenade, Anna and Elsa. They are located much closer to their ride than they have been, which is why Disney may have moved them here. They're also much closer to World Showcase Promenade, which means many more guests will be able to see them without stepping off the main path, and it serves as a fantastic photo spot. While this is a topiary tour, I would be remiss if I didn't mention at least a few of the global gardens that Epcot has debuted this year. This one that we're looking at right now is the Chinese Zodiac. They have created each of the 12 Chinese Zodiac characters in these mini statue forms. I'll give you a tour of them, but what's really important to note about these as you check them out is that they're all made from plant material. It could be living, it could be dried, but you will note that each and every one of these is made from materials that you will find out in nature. So let's go check them out closely. The ox is a great example of some of those living materials that these little tiny statues are made of. I see some dried leaves, I see beans, I see some popcorn kernels up around here, and I see some bark on the ground, cinnamon sticks, pistachio shells. I mean, I can go on and on. I see some wheat in the tail. If you really take the time to look closely at these, you will note that each and every part of these really neat Chinese Zodiac sculptures are made of ingredients that you can find out in nature. They're made from living or dried plant materials. There is a lot happening in the China Pavilion specifically for Flower and Garden Festival. There are panda topiaries in here as well. You can meet Mulan along this path. Of course, the Chinese Zodiac sculptures are here too, and they've created these gorgeous flower trees and the pathway up to the main Reflections of China building. So make sure you step off in China as you're here at Flower and Garden. The topiaries are far from the only thing to check out here at the Flower and Garden Festival. Another major highlight are those food kiosks that you'll find all around the world. It is just about lunchtime here. I'm going to grab a bite to eat, and you tune in for a word from my friends from WDW Magazine, and I will be right back.
Are you looking to escape to Walt Disney World? WDW Magazine delivers monthly magic mail from our fan favorite print magazine to keepsake special editions, as well as our digital magazine. We will deliver magic right to your hands. Subscribe today.
Hi ho, we've made it to Germany, where we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dwarfs. There he is, the 7th dwarf. As I mentioned earlier in the videos, some of the topiaries at this year's festival are in new locations. This Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs topiary is one of those examples. You'll find it with the backdrop of the water this year. And don't fret if you don't see the 7th dwarf over where the dwarves are located. Dopey, the 7th and final guy, is standing right next to Snow. My far and away favorite detail of this year's festival exists here in the miniature German train village. Now you're probably thinking, Maria, the German train village is there all the time. It's not anything exclusive to the Flower and Garden Festival, and you would be right about that. But there is an element of this village that is. Right down here, you will notice in town square of the miniature village, they have hung miniature replicas of the exact same Flower and Garden Festival banners that hang in real life, in real size, around Epcot, which to me means that this miniature village is celebrating their very own Flower and Garden Festival right along with us here at Epcot. They do have some really pretty flowers and trees planted through there, and it is hands down far and away one of my favorite details. You've got to check out those miniature signs in the miniature village that represent the Flower and Garden Festival. It is so neat. While we explore the topiaries here in the UK dedicated to both Peter Pan and Winnie the Pooh, I've got a topiary fun fact for you. Many of the topiaries that you'll see in this video have taken multiple years to grow. That is right. The horticulturists here at Disney World do not simply start growing these topiaries a few months before the festival. They start growing them years before the festival. It is why something like an Encanto topiary won't be here this year. Something like a brand new movie topiary you won't see here. It's because they take years to grow, which makes sense. They are living plant material, each and every one of them, that take multiple years to grow. Flowers grow at different paces, foliage grows at different paces. If you're someone who gardens, you will know that. But it is very neat to know that when you're looking at these topiaries, you're looking at something that has not taken just a few weeks or months, but a few years to grow. While kids are of course welcome and encouraged to participate and check out everything that I've shown so far in the video, I would like to dedicate this next segment specifically to the kids out there who are watching. I am standing right now in the Encanto-inspired garden. If you're a kid out there, chances are you have seen and loved Encanto on Disney+. Make sure that you check out this garden that is located right next to La Isla Fresca booth, which was actually inspired by Encanto. If you look really closely at the booth, you can see that it's really colorful, just like the casita of the family Madrigal is in the film. But let's focus on the garden. You can walk through the garden, and as you will walk through the garden, you will notice not only extremely dense and gorgeous foliage here, but that there are tributes paid to the female members of the family as you walk through here. You will see flowers and plants inspired by Giulietta, Isabella, Luisa, and Mirabelle. And that is a part of Women's History Month, which is really, really neat as well. So come check out these topiaries and the plants that are here in the Encanto-inspired garden, and pay a tribute to women's history as well as you walk through. We've made it to Italy, where we've got some topiaries from Lady and the Tramp. Now, I absolutely love her ears. They're made out of some puffy little plant material, and he looks fantastic. Again, every single part of these topiaries, except her collar and eyes in this case, are made of living plant material, and that is so cool and still unbelievable to me at how detailed and perfectly shaped they are. However, I would like to draw your attention to the gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous flower beds that surround these topiaries. If you've visited Epcot before, you will know that these are not normally here, and if you haven't, really pay attention. Everywhere that you go in Epcot during this festival, you will see fantastic, fantastic, not only topiaries, but gardens, plants, flowers, and many other living plant life that are not normally here during the year. So anytime you see a gorgeous looking flower display, or anything that's bright and beautiful, chances are it's festival exclusive, and I highly, highly recommend you keep your eyes open while you're not only checking out the topiaries, but the entirety of Epcot, because all of it is in bloom during this festival. Another global garden I would like to highlight for you today is the bonsai garden that you will find in the Japan Pavilion. It is not always here, it is a festival exclusive item. You can walk around and check out the different species of bonsai trees that exist in Japan. If you don't know, bonsai trees are miniature trees. They are miniature likenesses of larger trees, and they have a garden specifically dedicated to those miniature trees here in Japan. They're just off World Showcase Promenade. You don't have to go searching for them, but they are very neat, and they're something that's not always here, and it's really great to dip into a bit of the culture while you're exploring Epcot as well, and this is one of those recommendations. The dragon topiary, featured right at the heart of the Japan Pavilion, is one of my favorite photo opportunities of all. If you line up the shot correctly, you can get the dragon with the arch and Spaceship Earth behind it. It is extremely Instagrammable and is a fantastic topiary to check out as well. Here we are in France, that features 4.5 topiaries. The Beauty and the Beast topiaries are my favorite. There are 4 of them located here in the France Pavilion. We've got Belle and the Beast that we're looking at right now, which this topiary and so many of them we've seen do an unbelievable job of capturing motion. Look at Belle's dress. It is clearly in motion. The way her arm is out to the side, you can tell she's clearly walking. It is unbelievable the artistry that goes into these topiaries. There is also a Cogsworth and Lumiere topiary that is very neat here as well. And the reason that I say there are 4.5 here is because there is a Remy topiary here, but he's here all year long and he's not made of real flowers. But I guess he still counts, right? Speaking from the perspective as a kid who used to travel to Walt Disney World growing up, I know that getting around World Showcase can be a challenge for a kid, but I've got some tips on how to make it more fun. First of all, stop in any of the gift shops around Epcot and grab the Spike the Bee scavenger hunt. It takes you to each of the countries and they have to find a specific Spike the Bee statue, put a sticker on and correspond with each one. It's a great way to keep them engaged while you're eating the food and drinks while walking around. However, there's another really interesting way to keep the kids interested, and that is teaching them what Disney movies their favorite characters are from, or at least showing them their favorite characters in topiary form. After all, this is a topiary tour. So the kids gotta check them out as well. My recommendations for topiaries that you can't miss for kids are Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. You will find them located in Germany. Anna and Elsa, they will be in Norway, right outside of their ride. There is a very cool Buzz Lightyear topiary that boys and girls will absolutely go crazy for. He is so realistic. He's one of my favorites here, if you couldn't tell. He's over by Mission Space. I also think that the Belle and the Beast topiaries over in France are absolutely worth checking out as well. So those are just a few of the highlights for the kids here as you travel around World Showcase, and ones that they will most likely not want to miss. Between the topiaries, the global gardens, and the landscaping and just general gorgeous gardens that they've set up here in Epcot, there is so much to do during the 2022 Flower and Garden Festival. Then make sure you take the time out of your day to explore these topiaries and gardens. They truly are beautiful and are the heart of the Flower and Garden Festival. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel and like this video if you haven't already, because there are going to be many more just like this coming your way in the near future. Thank you so much for watching WDW Magazine. Again, I'm Maria, and I'll see you in the parks.